Hey y'all, today we're going to be making sausage, peppers, and onions in our foodie grill. Oh, we're having a whole lot of fun. And that looks so good, y'all. Hi, welcome back to another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the good old boy. And today we're cooking up a Foodie Friday for you here in our camper kitchen. We are on the road and we're testing recipes. And I tested this recipe yesterday and the family thought it was fantastic, which means I'm going to show it to you. And to do this recipe, you just need a few simple ingredients to make a delicious dish, and this is what you need. You need peppers. I've got a red bell pepper. I've got a green bell pepper. And then you need an onion. I got one of them right there. And then you need sausage. We are going to use bratwurst today because we love bratwurst. You could use spicy Italian, a mild Italian sausage, smoked sausage. It's whatever you all prefer. We like the bratwurst. And then of course you need a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then some oil. We're going to use avocado oil. You could use olive oil. That would be fine too. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to warm up my Foodie grill. I've got the grill insert there over the pan. And I'm going to put that on a medium heat, which should go somewhere around 350 degrees, which is what I'm looking for. And while that's heating up, now I'm going to cut up my other stuff. So I'm going to take my peppers to begin with. Here, let me slide my onion to the side. And I'm going to show you a really cool way to cut this up. Ming Tsai, who is a very, very popular celebrity chef, I saw this the other day. He taught me how to clean one of these peppers really easy. And when I say he taught me how to clean it, well, it's because I saw it on TikTok, because TikTok is kind of fun to be on at times. And I saw Ming Tsai, and he showed me how to do this. First thing you want to do is I'm going to cut off the bottom of my pepper, and I'll save that because that's still good stuff. I also want to cut off the top of my pepper just to get that core where all the seeds are held, just like that. Now some of that will come off and you're left with that. And then all I want to do is simply cut into the pepper like that, and then I'm going to roll my knife under that seed core, and it should bring out the majority of the seeds. And I got to be careful because this is a dangerously sharp knife. Seed core came out just like that. I was left with about 10 seeds. Look at that, they all came off except for one right there in the trash. And then I'll do the same with my red pepper. Again, be careful with a super, super sharp knife. Cris just bought these for the camper kitchen. They're really good. I was doing dishes the other day and I found out just how good they were. But again, all I want to do is I'll cut off that bottom, which is a good piece to save. Twist that top off. Sometimes the core comes out with it, which is great too. And then I'll take one cut down the pepper, and then just go into it like this, and it cuts all that white part out. And you don't waste any meat of that pepper. Just the parts that you don't like to chew up. Give it a couple of taps over the trash. No seeds. Perfect. Get the seeds off the cutting board there. And then I'm just going to slice up my peppers. And I'm going to show you how thick I slice these peppers up. I'm going to slice them up thicker than what I did when we tested this recipe, because as they grill up, they're going to lose moisture, and as they lose moisture, they're going to shrink. So I'm going to cut it into pieces about like that. That's really not as even as I would want them to be, but thicker pieces than what you would normally do. Think if you're going to cut these up for a snack, that's about the size you'd want. Don't cut them up too thin, because if you do, they'll dry up and get all shrivelly. Get those ends in there as well. And then I'll go ahead and cut up my green bell pepper. Just like that. And now that I got my bell peppers cut up, I'll go for my onion, and I'll do the same thing with that. I'm going to cut them probably about 1/4 inch strips. because as they lose the moisture, they're going to shrink, and you don't want them to shrink and dry up. Alright. Get that top part out of there. And then I'm going to break up my onion as well, so that olive or that avocado oil gets all up in the onion's business. Just like that. That way you get some strips of onion that will also flavor those peppers. You hear that jingle? That's my dog. He's up there watching me do this, wondering if I'm going to give him any. I won't. This is mine. Alright, so now that we have our onions and our peppers all chopped up, cut up, ready to go, I'm just waiting on this grill to go, and it's about a minute away, so let's see what happens. Alright, this thing is preheated and ready to go, so I'm going to pop it open, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some oven mitts, because when I tested this out, I put all my veggies on one side and my sausage on the other. And the thing about this Foodi Grill is it has a drain port, so all the moisture that comes on the grill is going to drop down into the pan that's below. And I actually want to save that moisture for my veggies. So what I'm going to do is very carefully, this thing is heavy, it's slightly awkward, is I'm going to pick this up and just set it on top of the Foodi pan there to open up some space. And then I want to put my veggies down in that bottom pan. Should give a good sizzle, and it does. I'm not too concerned if you mix those peppers all together, because you want those flavors to meld. I'll put the onion over the top. Take my onion right on top of there. And I'm going to let my vegetables cook down below in the grill pan itself with a little bit of avocado oil. That'll give it some flavor. That'll keep it hopefully from shriveling up. Probably about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of that. I grab a fork. Yeah, grab a spatula. I'll grab a wooden spoon. That's what I was looking for. And I'm going to spread that out underneath in the pan. And then to that, that's where I'll add my salt and my pepper. 13 twists as always. Give that a little bit of a stir. Make sure these veggies in the back get some of that salt. Alright, so now that we got our veggies all oiled up, salted and peppered, I'll take my mitts back on. Don't do this barehanded, y'all, because this thing is hot. Grab it by the handles and set this grill back on top of the veggies. Now, it's looking like it's sitting on top of those vegetables and mashing them down. That's completely fine, because as they shrink up and cook up, that will drop back down. And then I'm simply just going to take my sausages, my bratwurst, your Italian sausage, sweet Italian sausage, spicy Italian sausage, summer sausage, well, not summer sausage, but smoked sausage, and put that on top of the grill. And then I'm going to close it up. And I want to let this cook for 20 minutes. Now what I want to do to get an even cook, as well as maybe get some even grill marks, is in 10 minutes I'm going to come back and I'm going to flip those over. And that's going to happen in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're about halfway through the grilling process, and this is what it looks like. Check that out. They already look really, really good. So I'm going to flip these over onto the other side. I can get them. They're slippery little suckers. Alright, flip you, and flip you. Oh, yeah. Check out those grill marks. That's what I'm looking for. And then while I'm at it, just spread these out. I want to pick this up, and I want to give those vegetables on the bottom a stir. So again, I've got to be careful when I do this. I'm going to put on my mitts. Looking like a giant Muppet. Mark, 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 Bergie, Bergie, Bergie. So that's the Muppet I think of, the Swedish chef, whenever I do this stuff. So just set this to the side. I don't want the drippings to fall out, so I want to make sure and not set this so far over that everything spills over the side there. And I'm going to give these veggies a quick stir. And look at that. You can already see how those veggies are browning up. Oh, yeah. And they're not shrinking down like they did when I first tested this. Just give them a quick stir, get those back there. Make sure everybody's all joining in on the party. Oops, bumping my camera, but look how bright those colors are when this cooks up. Oh my gosh, and it smells so good in here. Now I'll put my mitts back on. Gently set my grill grate back down over the top of those veggies. And what that's doing is all the juices that are coming out of the sausage, whatever sausage it is going to drain down through those portholes and just going to flavor those vegetables even more. And that's what, I look ridiculous. That's what you want. But now I've got about another 9 minutes of cooking here. I want those sausages to get up to between 160 and 165 at least. So what I could do, you know, I forgot, this has a handy dandy foodie thermometer in it. So I'm going to stick this in here in just a little bit, because I still want those vegetables to cook up. So I'm going to wait till the end, but I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for another 8 minutes, and then I'm going to stick my thermometer in there and make sure that the internal temperature of those sausages is between 160 and 165, which is a safe temperature for pork to be at. And once it hits that temperature, we know this is good to go. You're going to see that here in 3, 2, 1. Alright, cooked it for about another 8 minutes, and let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, look how those have all scorched up real good. Look at them. Them sausages are absolutely gorgeous. But the first thing I want to do is I do want to make sure that these have reached an internal temperature of 160 to 165. I know for a fact that they have, but I want to test out this handy dandy thermometer. So I'm going to slide that down into the center of the sausage, and I'm going to close the lid. Evidently it's going to be closed to make this work. Do a manual 165 and start, and it's telling me that it is good to go. So I'm going to shut my grill off, gently take my thermometer out, and watch out when you do that, because it's boiling in the middle, so therefore it's going to squirt out at you. Tastes good though. Put this on paper towel, get that cleaned off just a little bit. I'm done with the thermometer. I'll get that washed off here in a minute. So I'll remove my bratwurst, because I want to get to these veggies and see how they did down below in that bottom pan. Again, any of the juices that came out of my sausages went down, and you could see, look, because there's a lot of juice that came out, but on that grill grate there's not really that much oil or fat or juices or anything, and that is because it all went down below. So I'll remove my grill grate, and again, you got to be careful because this is super hot, and depending on what your countertop is, like this countertop isn't something that you want to set something super hot on. So I got to remember I'm not home right now, and I'll set that over to the side. In fact, I wonder, I take a couple paper plates. I bet I can remove it over there just to get out of the way so y'all can see these veggies. Give me just a sec. Alright, that'll work just like that. Hopefully it doesn't burn that, but look. Oh yeah, those veggies worked out so much better. Check that out, y'all. Look at that. They're still plump. They're moist. Oh my goodness, that's going to be so good. So all I'm going to do is to prep for what I'm going to do and eat this. Some people might knife and fork this. I don't like doing that. I like using my hands. So I'm going to take a low-carb tortilla. If you got a hot dog bun or any kind of sandwich bun, that would be fine. I'll take one of my sausages, and then I'm going to take me some peppers, onions. Make sure I get some red and green bell in there. Maybe just a little bit more onion. Oh yeah. Y'all check that out. I'm going to have mine with just a little bit. Oh, made that wonderful sound. A little bit of mustard on top. And that looks so good, y'all. And it's one thing for it to look good. I'm going to see how it tastes. It's going to be super hot, so watch out. Okay. That's amazing. I got a yellow onion. I didn't get a sweet onion. but there's still a sweetness that comes from that onion. And of course you got those peppers in there. They're going to add a sweetness to it as well. They cook down really well using that avocado oil, and setting them in that bottom pan underneath your meat. It pressed down so it actually cooked the veggies on both sides, and the juices from those brats dripped down into that bottom pan, and it gave it more of a saute. So your veggies, if I take one out, I can do it to my house. They're cooked all the way through. They're not crunchy, but they're not mushy either. Sorry, I'm down here. I'm starting to act like Lou. That little bit of salt and pepper is all it took. Okay, I'm gonna come eat the rest of this for you. That's a really cool way to do that if you put those veggies in that bottom pan. I don't know if that's the way it was intended, but that's the way I do it, and it worked out well. And of course I like my sausages with mustard, so this is gonna work out great. I'm gonna have another bite. Okay. I am now a sausage, peppers, and onion fan. What kind of sausage would y'all use? Down in the comments below, let me know, because I'd like to try. What kind of sausage you guys use for sausage, onions, and peppers? Have you ever tried it on a foodie grill? Will you try it now? Because you really should, because this is amazing. Y'all, if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you give us a like down below. And also, if you have not become a member of the Crock Posse, make sure you click that little subscribe button down below and be a welcome member of our Crock Posse that's now around 44,000 people. Thank you all for joining in. Also, if you want to know as soon as we put up a new video, make sure you click that little bell next to the subscribe button. We call that the ding-a-ling. You click that and it lets YouTube know that you want to see our videos as soon as they come out. But whatever y'all do, make sure you laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. See y'all. That's hot. If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon link below.